the Global AIDS Coordinator. And as you probably know, while there, she directed the largest single global health program in history, reversing the spread of AIDS and saving millions of lives. Dr. Birx was then appointed by President Trump and served as the White House as the coronavirus response coordinator. At her core, Dr. Birx is a physician and a scientist. She's the author of more than 200 peer-reviewed scientific papers. She examined and studied our scientific data in detail before agreeing to a position with us. But one big surprise was how well she understood business. As the nation's coronavirus response coordinator, Dr. Birx traveled to 44 states and met with governors, mayors, university presidents, school administrators, healthcare providers, and business leaders. And now we are proud to announce that she is coming to ActivePure Technologies as our Chief Medical and Scientific Advisor. We will be her major focus. Dr. Birx will be a great help to us as we share our technology for the world. I'm so honored to introduce Dr. Deborah Birx to all of you. Dr. Birx, you've had countless opportunities to work almost anywhere in the world as you transition from the public to the private sector. You'll be assisting President Bush again at the Bush Institute in Dallas. But of all the other offers you had, you chose us. Could you please share with our team why you chose to join ActivePure?
Thank you, Joe. And it's great to see all of the names and the locations in the chats. I've been to your states. I know your issues, and that's been really important to me. I've been to your countries. I don't know how many countries I've been to. I have to figure it all out. I know I've been to all of the United States, except for one state, working on that. But the reason I came and the reason I'm only doing 3 things in my private sector work and foundation work. And all of them relate to gaps that I've seen while working in the biomedical and the medical research space. And for those of us that became physician scientists, what was important to us is translating science from the bench to the bedside to really change clients' lives. And what science does for us, and it's great to do very basic science and the knowledge contribution, but science that translates into solutions that people need around the world is really important to me. I also like to work with engineers and a CEO like Joe, who's passionate about their work, who really brings that positive attitude of really understanding what they have to offer, but also willing to do the hard work. And I know that may be frustrating sometimes to people when people want to go back and really get the data and take the time to do that FDA application. I know what work that is because I've been on the other side of the receiving to see some of those applications because they've been critical to us in HIV, TB, malaria, now COVID-19. But those really critical FDA applications, the one that you did that really shows that this approach is effective against bacteria, difficult viruses, and critically mold spores, says to everyone that it's safe to be occupied in that room and to have a technology that works both in the air and on surfaces and against very difficult, what we would call pathogens, and not only traps them in it, but inactivates them and has an adaptable technology that can be used in different kinds of spaces and finding different solutions from the home to the workplace, to the schools, to buses, so that we can travel knowing and being confident about the air that we breathe. I think all of us will look at air differently now. I think you all are seeing the reports about, we've been concerned from the beginning about how COVID-19 could potentially exist in the air for longer periods of times in a very small droplet or almost aerosolized space. And the nice thing about your technology is it attacks those also. And so it's that combination of solutions and passions, focus on science and data, and really having something that I think America and the world needs to really ensure and give us the confidence that when we're in a space without our mask, the air that we breathe is pure.
Thanks, Dr. Birx. And, you know, with your presence and credentials and reputation, there's no doubt you will help us have a huge impact across the world. Could you briefly share with the team what you see as your role and your goals while working with us at ActivePure?
I think two things. One, to continue to push the science and the applications and really the adapting of the engineering to more and greater situations all the time. Working to get translating the University of Texas Galveston data into that full FDA package, even though I'm very confident based on the data from Galveston that it's highly effective against COVID-19. You've taken on much more difficult pathogens in your prior FDA application. And I think finally that translation of science into words that people can understand. It doesn't help to know a lot of stuff or have a lot of details if people can't understand what the technology is actually doing. And I've spent a lifetime translating complicated concepts, not only to our Congress and our federal leaders, but also to communities, because in the end, communities need to feel safer and communities need to be confident in the spaces where they are working and enjoying entertainment and eating and drinking.
So as you think about how you'll share the message of ActivePure, could you maybe articulate that for our group today?
That's really great. I want to thank all of you who work on this every day, and please feel free to make me better. The other thing I really found really important to me is learning all the time. That's what keeps me excited about getting out of bed every day. I think what's really important about this technology, number one, it's grounded in science. There's an evidence base showing that it's effective, not only against COVID-19, and this is where this is important to me. It's applicable to other indoor respiratory threats, whether there is mold spores or whether potentially Legionella disease, these kinds of diseases that have been difficult for us in closed spaces is really important. And I think this technology has the ability to work across different kinds of pathogens, spores, viruses, bacteria. I think really figuring out how to explain how it kills, because that is the secret sauce of the work that each of you do and the product that you market. And really figuring out how to communicate that escalating killing by disrupting membranes is really important, but complicated. And so really working on finding graphics that tell that story for us, that's beyond words. And finally, having a technology that is adaptable, like your technology, to be used and adapted to different size spaces, being adapted to ducts so that you can ensure that your ducting is actually free of pathogens. These are all things that everyone around the world is interested in now, because everybody now is aware that viruses, bacteria, and mold spores exist in their air.
Dr. Birx, that's fantastic. I'm going to just ask you if you have any closing thoughts and if there's any other message you'd like to share with our group today.
Well, what's really important to me, and I know it's important to you all, is for me to get to Dallas and then to get out to some of the retail sites to really hear from each of you, your concerns, your understanding of the technology, how we could better serve you, and really ensure that you have what you need to communicate effectively about this technology. I think when you have something that's this incredible, being able to break it down into bite-sized pieces that everybody could understand. But I just want to close by really thanking the team. The engineers at ActivePure, Joe himself, spent a lot of time bringing me up to speed so I could really understand the depth and breadth of the work that you all have put in over the last decades to really build on a technology to make it what it is today. And so I hope to be able to contribute building on all of the great work that you have done for the number of decades. And Joe, thank you for your positive can-do attitude. It's reflected in the company. I think that is really important that people are passionate about their work.
Thanks, Dr. Birx. We're so honored and excited about having you share our message and our technology across the world, hopefully protecting lives in not just this pandemic, but in years to come. And I can't wait to visit with you personally. I'm finally getting my vaccine this week, so I'll be a lot more comfortable getting out and about, and look forward to visiting with you very, very soon. We certainly thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It's an honor and a privilege to have you join us, and we will be sure to continue to earn that and respect that as we go forward together. Team, there will be some follow-up emails coming out to help guide you on what you can and can't or should and shouldn't say about all of this. So our wonderful PR team at TrisCom here in Dallas has put together fantastic materials to help guide you. Because I know you're excited. You're going to want to go out and tell that story. In the meantime, be sure to like and share our social media posts, and be sure to keep an eye out for more news to come with us and Dr. Birx. So thank you all. We really are grateful. Dr. Birx, thank you again so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.